In 1979, the basic science was saying that the climate sensitivity, the single most important metric to determine our collective understanding of how warming will affect the world, was somewhere between 1.5 and 4.5 degrees. That was the year I graduated from Oak Bay High School here. After the first assessment report, the second, third, fourth, and fifth, all of which I participated in the fifth report, released in 2013, 35 years later, the best estimate of climate sensitivity, the single most important determined metric representing our collective understanding of global warming, was still 1.5 to 4.5 degrees. We've had 35 years of science, yet this has not changed. And we've had 35 years of inaction on this climate science, field of climate policy. I couldn't stand around anymore as a climate scientist, and many of my colleagues around the world cannot stand around anymore. Because if we want to change this system, we have to be part of that change. So much of the decision making that happens in our political systems is based on ideology. There's way too much decision-based evidence making happening in our legislature and our parliament, and not enough evidence-based decision making. And that is why we need more scientists to step up. And that is why I'm so thrilled by this participation here today. You know, in the 2013 election campaign, the world was about to set a record. That was a record of breaking 400 parts per million of atmospheric carbon dioxide. That was in 2013. We broke the record. And we've just broken, this year, the record of 410 parts per million of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. We've had 4 more years of inaction on the British Columbia scene, on the national scene, and on the international scene. When people tell you that we can continue down the pathways of using fossil fuels in our economy and somehow meet the challenge that Paris has given the world, they're not telling the truth. Because we know the world has warmed by a degree. We know the world is committed to warming another 0.6 degrees from existing levels of greenhouse gases, and another 0.2 to 0.3 from the permafrost feedback. We know the world is going to warm about 1.8 to 1.9 degrees. So the signing of the Paris Agreement, if you actually believed what you were signing, says that effective immediately, the world must begin the path towards decarbonization, and there can be no new investment in any fossil fuel infrastructure that will be around for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. But how does that play out? Our political leaders stand up and sign agreements, take some photo ops, and then proceed to start talking about saving China from itself through LNG. Building pipelines to distribute oil around the world, inconsistent with the very signing of the Paris Agreement. You know, that is why we need more science, particularly on this Earth Day today. We are in an era where alternate facts, where whatever I say is whatever I believe, and it seems to be true. This alternate facts, pervasive throughout the internet, are undermining good public policy. We can watch it happen, or as collective scientists, we can get involved. So I urge each and every one of you to continue to demand your elected leadership, no matter what party they're in, to actually ensure that their decisions are grounded in evidence and not in rhetoric, that their decisions are grounded in information that is available, and that you demand better, because it's simply not happening here in British Columbia and here in Canada. We can get better, and I hope you work towards it. I'd like to see more scientists stepping up to run in the election, whatever party. It doesn't matter if you run for the Libertarian Party. We need more people who understand the importance of evidence, who recognize that politics shouldn't be a career path. We have people who spent their entire life in politics. For them, science, they don't know what it means. If we want to change the way the system is, we have to be part of that change. That's why I ran. That's why I left the lab of University of Victoria. That's why I stepped outside my comfort zone, gave up my Canada Research Chair, because I could no longer stand around as a climate scientist and watch what was going down there in the legislature. Please continue to be engaged. Thank you for your support, and thank you to the organizers of this rally here today.